And welcome there, folks. This is Bash. We're here at the CCFN 21 Community Clan Fight Night. And let's see, we're going to start it off with just one little thing I'm going to say. And here's JohnnyOmaha.
Hey, everybody, JohnnyOmaha here. Thanks for joining us on Community Clan Fight Night Bash. Thank you for joining me here. There's a little kersnuffle, a little furfuffle, but we're here now, and we're ready to rock here with some amazing teams here. Why don't you list them off, what we have here for Militia?
All right, there on the Militia time, we got FFO and APG and BB and 303rd. Now, to break those down, we got 303rd is just numbers. BB is Bloodbath. And APG, I'm going to have to jump to you on that one.
Allied Precise Gunman. Pow, 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 pow.
And FFO is...
Fight
Freaky
on the
Friday.
Yes, Freaky Friday. It's fight on the it's an F word. It's fight on the effing objective. That's their thing. So I'm gonna create a stream squad here, stream 1 squad, so we can listen in what's happening. 22 seconds to match, and pretty excited to see. We had a great game on the Militia side here with the opposing team of Fubar, Armed and Ready, Swift Knights, and IB. And I'm excited to see how they fare as Americans.
Why do we have 5 squads?
Just clear that up. We got two different admins and two different squads.
Why is Kevin running his own squad when FFO has 10 here?
Fucking... I don't know.
Because you have a slot open in your squad. Remove me. So, like, supposed to play as not assigned?
Yeah, it sounds like we got some interesting squad chat here.
Yeah.
Lots of the kind of stuff you got to deal with when you're setting up the beginning of a game.
That's right, a good start. I think tensions may be
We
high.
have the same player count we did last round. Something's not mathing up here.
We have two.
And as the players move out, fan out, get some space between them, it seems like the tensions ease themselves. But I'm very interested by this APG FFO group right here. They're literally a vape cloud just moving across the sky.
Just moving across the sky. Just change that view distance. Maybe I was having some issues last game with the view distance. We're going to go all the way. My AMD card is just smoking over here.
Should be good to go now.
AMD card that runs squad.
And
Yeah.
You're the real
Kevin
MVP.
join his own squad or something.
Who dropped a fob?
And I'm just really interested by this organization.
Whoa,
What's
whoa.
going on over here?
Spot.
But just to point out real quick, notice how this team, they did have a squad spawn up to the north. They have a northern group.
You can't?
They did not do that on the other team.
Oh, you waterfall.
Big. There's this isn't good.
Fucking Christ, dude.
This isn't good, Bash. It looks like that that conflict that was
Is this
happening.
like an elaborate troll, or are you guys legitimately doing this?
No, dude, I don't fucking know what Kevin's doing.
I wasn't aware of the waterfall plan. I'm sorry.
Kevin Christ, dude. We do it every fucking time.
Looks like a little bit of miscommunication. The good news
Just
is
gonna say, I feel like the name Kevin is gonna have a whole new meaning here. Pretty
to pull a Kevin. You pulled a Kevin, didn't you?
Oh,
Oh, it's like the opposite of Leroy Jenkins. It's like Leroy
It's
Jenkins,
like
and I can't
anytime-
spawn.
it's like anytime you can't see the name on someone
Maybe we
and
could
they're
give
doing
them a
something wrong.
here
Ah,
or not,
shit, it's
or,
Kevin.
like, what's
Oh,
going
excuse me, sorry.
So Iron X
But I'm
asking for
Yeah,
admins. I don't.
it's a little ridiculous.
I agree.
What's your issue?
Kevin's running his own squad and just putting stupid fobs down and arguing with Backpack, and they're both in the same clan, and I'm kind of not convinced it's just an elaborate troll.
At the end of it, it sounded like it got resolved. Is it still continuing?
No, it's done.
Well, why is there someone that's running his own squad though? Like this kind of goes against the point of the whole event, doesn't it?
Yeah.
No one else for him to join
One
into
guy
is.
too many.
If that's the case, we're gonna have to drop you, Kevin.
Fuck it, I'll leave. I was waiting for an ammo crate so I wouldn't lose a kit. Fuck it. Okay, bye.
I mean, in all regards, really, the way that could have been handled easier is him to jump over to the other team and just play with them as an additional player.
Sorry, guys.
Not
I don't know what
really
the fuck he's
sure
doing.
what the attitude was about all of that. So instead, we're just gonna
kick these
play on.
guys' ass.
Game on, guys. Game on.
Yeah,
Is there?
it's real difficult to get
Apologize.
a hard start like that. The first couple minutes of the game are actually super important, but this is always tough because this game, as much as it's a mental game more than anything. It's about teamwork and communication, and a start like that is really going to have a ripple effect and some cracks here.
Well, let's see how it affects him. I gotta interrupt you real quick because BB Blood Matus is all by himself against a couple Fubar guys that have already crossed the river and are already positioned up on Murder Hill. Looks like BB Blood Malice is gonna bypass them and follow his group with the other BB guys and go over to the north of Malikabad.
They're on the northern side.
So again, militia in blue, United States in red here. I'm kind of getting my
They're
bearings
getting
myself.
around on this northern hill.
Quite an unfortunate start to a great event, but I think as soon as we start getting some good action in here, all that will bypass and no one will care.
Yeah,
So
I think.
let's
Yeah,
see how these intermix.
I'm definitely feeling the tension myself, Bash. Are you a little bit? I'm like, oh.
I finished my beer. Let's put it that way.
There you go. That's right. 21st CCFN, the legal drinking age here in
I think
North
we had
America.
a squad skirt us.
Exactly. And the one big difference that I'm going to say that I noticed from these two different starts is the fact that there's 3 main channels, but they're separate. The last game, they were more confined to each other, and when they got into a fight, they closed in on each other. At this point, they're so far and broken apart that it is now 3 distinct battles going on.
Yeah,
One of them hasn't started yet.
You can see on the top of your screen that north flank on the other side of the river, and then in the center of our screen, I'm seeing all the...
Sorry guys, I do apologize for that. I don't know what the fuck he was doing.
It's all good, man.
All the contact happening right on the entryway into Bahadur Fields. And then at the bottom of the screen, we're seeing IB engage with 303rd on the top of Murder Mountain.
They are all the way behind us. My squad's sweeping back to see where they went.
We're engaging a squad to the south here.
Roger
we're
that.
engaging.
I think they got behind us on the west.
So we hear FFO and APG thinking that there's more people than there probably are with this Fubar Murder Hill advancement. It looks like they've actually pulled most of their people out of the middle as SWF is starting to come up into the middle.
Yeah, it's a tactic that the Swift Knight clan likes to use. We call it up the gut. Go straight up the gut, and that's what you do. And it's been working for us so far.
And I'm noticing that the 303rd approach over here has claimed everyone except for the medic.
It looks like IB Mosquito. Let me get down a little bit out of this wind. All I hear is the wind blowing in my ear. IB Mosquito still up. It looks like Swift Knight Zeph is still up and running along with IB Tangi, but Infidel Rage prone.
Oh, we got the Swede Metal Man and Infidel, and I think Clerky, if I saw right, they're still up. Nope, Clerky's down. Infidel's down. IB has cleaned out the majority of them. Metal Man is down, Das Swede is down, and it looks like IB has taken over that.
Yep,
303rd challenge.
Yep, IB concluding that engagement. The interesting thing about this particular engagement on the top of Murder Mountain is that it's so far off point that it's not really contributing to the overall goal. Hopefully, not at the moment, but it should push forward.
Dude, there's guys in between us towards the arrow to your south on the ridge. They're sniping us.
They should be able to push forward and get a fob down and hopefully help this out, but it looks like 303rd are going back for more.
And IB is used it to try and push up, but they, like you said, they're staying pretty wide. They have not cut in yet, and they're staying far away and outside of this middle battle with APG and FUBAR and SWF in the very middle here.
Yep, IB on the United States side here in red, and the 303rd on the militia side in blue. Yeah, they're still moving over there.
Roger.
Bash, keep me posted. I want to kind of bring the action over here to the Swift Knights and APG, who are very close to Bahadur Fields on
Keep
the
this
point.
spread out, guys. Good job.
Well, it looks like Swift Knights
Good shit,
on the
squad.
American
Three.
squad got a little bit too grouped
what was
up
that?
because APG over here on the
Oh,
militia,
good
they are
shit.
as well staying grouped, but using their more powerful guns to better
trying to flank
positioning,
right
and
behind
they
them, just
have
get wiped out
cleaned
by
out the
those
majority of
guys.
SWF.
Yeah,
However,
no worries.
SWF Esserling
looks like you got a
and Mad at
squad,
You
moving
are
to you
still
north
up
from
and still
Malakabat.
dropping them.
Yeah, those Melissa,
He's right under
those
on the
Melissa.
side of-
Yeah, who's a girl? She's also a faction called Militia, and Militia.
Marking them on the map.
They have that,
keypad
that
six.
close quarters combat, those much more powerful guns, whereas the United States have the ranged game kind of going on there. So right now,
Exactly.
with this engagement, that close combat of the militia is a kind of a game changer, and we see them as the SWF clan goes down.
Now, Johnny, what would you say is the big change here? The positioning of this intermix. Is it different than the previous game?
So what we saw last game, which was one of the best games of squad I've ever seen, by the way, what I'm seeing mostly is it's not a super concentrated element. We have an entire squad already on the other side of the river. Let me zoom in on these guys way to the east, who are going to be approaching Malakabad from the north, and they're running into a three-man element here. So I guess the major difference I'm seeing is the militia putting more pressure on Malakabad at the forefront, but also that means that they have less guys to defend Bahadur Fields
Fields is
as
still 100%.
the United States moves in.
I'm gonna say that by spawning their northern spawn, the militia side, where they had BB come down and on that
Squad 2.
kind of north flank on Malakabad, that has turned this more into a zone game almost, as if people are spread out, taking up wider positions of fire. Converse with the last game, everyone had very narrow positions of fire, which I mean they're looking in only a few spots versus like a full 360.
Yeah, I felt like we felt this. I felt like we felt so a lot of feeling going on here.
Squad 2, there is
This was
definitely a spawn
the
point over
feel,
there. Some
the
sort.
feeling.
game.
Oh my God! I need to use another word. This is the situation that was happening was very similar to this, but we were feeling it more back on Riverbend. It felt kind of like this when we were back, and the United States was pushing Riverbend more often. So maybe this is just the feeling of now the militia attacking. And remember before Bloodbath was actually back on Malakabad defending, and they really weren't doing anything. Now these are the guys that are defending Malakabad have something to do.
I'm quite curious because they played, I'm gonna say, maybe 75% of the game. The first quarter of the game, they just played a strong defense. Maybe that's what the AR guys were thinking they were gonna have to do as well.
Yeah, who knows but them at the moment. I think they know that FFO is a very aggressive, 303rd very aggressive. These clans, they know where to strike, they know where to push. Bloodbath is
Squad
one of
2, I think
those
they're right to your north.
aggressive clans.
Roger that. Yeah, I'm trying to flank him right now.
I'm
One's
keeping an
down.
eye on some FFO movement over here on Sit Hill, and it looks like they're battling with some FUBAR guys, but it is a very small and indecisive unit. They are branched apart. There's no real squad cohesion that I'm seeing. I'm seeing more of small buddy systems going on right now. 2- and 3-man groups seem to be more powerful right now.
That's interesting. Where are these fire teams that you're looking at? I'm taking a look at the Swift Knights, and I see the 303rd, but these
Just the break off to the, I'd say the north side of the Murder Hill, because most of this action is over here where you're talking with AB and, or I'm sorry, IB, 303rd, SWF,
squad, Echo
APG.
7,
Those two
keypad
big
4.
battles, but
Squad 4, as they're coming
it
down
just
the hill
the
onto
shape
you.
of this game looks completely different.
Roger.
yeah, the flanks are just as wide. I mean, you can actually see that I Love Your Backpack FFO
My
squad.
guy is in a fob radius on that fob. E6 keypad 1.
calling out those fobs. They're finding
APG,
fobs.
if you
That's
don't get
another
your
thing
guys
that
in there.
I didn't really notice last game was a lot of it really went down kill for kill. There weren't a lot of fob takedowns,
Yeah.
and that's why the game lasted. I mean, we saw an insane number of kills last game, and that came
Also,
down
there's
to
enemies D6, keypad 8.
that came down to just the fobs really not being in play.
My guy is in there, fob
That's
radius.
very true. Very true. It's a very squad-oriented game, but there's different ways to position your squad, different ways to implement their skills. The one thing that I have not seen is use of different weapon types. I'm seeing it more so in the first game than this one is. I'm not seeing much AR cover fire. I'm not really seeing any kind of marksman. I'm not seeing much explosives. But last game, I did see a lot of it.
I wonder if those guys are actually making push and using that aggressive weaponry on the Malakabad as they get closer to that. But yeah, it's very spread out. I see here on the North Mountain, there's King of Canada with Fubar, who's really pushing back and around, but he's all by himself. So we'll kind of come back to him a little later as we push back into more of the main group. Here
We
we
got
see.
guys south of the fob here. Are they on the cap point?
As you just heard, FFO calling out, there are people on the fob here in the very middle. It was actually APG LG Hunter who
for you.
saved the fob.
Surrounded
There was
right
4
now.
SWF
Guys
clan
are
members
calling
that are
out.
all circled around.
aware.
On Wookiee and Matt at you are the only
South-
surviving two.
south of fob.
But the militia
get
just
you
got
now.
very lucky that the FFO just had so many
Pushing
people
into the
spawn in at that
objective right
fob.
now.
SWF was
job.
smart
We're
enough
working
on the
on squads,
opposite
so
team
should
to back off and let them run away instead of just shoot them.
Good job, 3.
Yeah, it looks like they tried to. Well, they were able to completely save that fob by flooding those spawns. Swift Knight mad at you,
Yeah, we just
taking
lost
down
our rally. We're
APG
spawning
T
on
Money
YouTube.
down there.
Sounds good.
303rd is spawned in with FFO. SWF Wookiee is a
We got a
man
whole
all
squad
alone
pushing
here in the very
field,
heart
guys.
of this
Just get out
battle.
and defend it.
Oh,
And he goes down.
yes.
We can see a
They
solid
know where the
grouping
spaw's
of
at.
SWF and Fubar to the south here. Some up, some down. Wonder if they're going to push through the middle. We have 2 big groups now of opposing teams. Mad at you getting multiple kills.
Oh, before flying across there. So
All right, so now we're seeing a pretty hard push from American, I'm going to say, over the hill, through the woods here in the very middle, too. But nothing to the east side. FFO on the militia side has 3 people keeping everyone off the hill.
and as I
But
look,
not
yeah,
holding back the team.
yeah, Bash. As I look towards the east,
3 how's
southeast,
that Malakabad
in the
going
far,
now?
far distance, I can see the militia
man.
moving in on Malakabad, and that's the pressure that they're going to need. That's going to pull off these Swift Knights. It's going to pull off this
Fob.
Fubar.
Danger zone. We gotta push them.
I'm going to take a quick jump over here, see if there's really much of an interaction going on, or
Yeah.
if they're just...
Let me know, and I'm more than happy to bring the camera over there by you. Let me know if there's anything worth looking at.
You know, it's a
But
very
you don't
cautious
drop a fob,
game over here. I'm
drop a
going to
fob
actually
for
come
your
back to
guys.
where the real action is.
Just YOLO it.
But they're playing very slow. There's very, very slow movements. It's one compound versus another compound, and they're playing quite tactical over there. A good comparison, actually, a contrast, if you will,
on
is
the enemy fob.
the 2 types of gun battles going on. Is the slow one over there, where you have kind of one side versus the other, and the very huge spread out intermixed one you have going on here in the valley.
Yeah, I see the Swift Knights
Squad 3, can you
keep
drop a
pushing
fob?
on the fob,
Let your guys die.
and I don't know. It looks like APG and FFO may be digging this
Throw in
up.
that field right there, Hamlet.
Well,
Yeah.
they got smoke out, so
Throw
they're
in that
definitely going to
field
get cover on it. So no longer are they going to have too much of a worry. It looks like
Unless
they
you're
dropped a
correct.
couple of the Fubar guys.
We're getting
Okay.
wrecked, man.
So yeah, they are
There's
not
like
digging
2
the fob.
squads
I was
up there.
mistaking a medic
2
healing a
squads.
guy as digging up that fob. But as long as that fob is up, Swift Knights and hopefully
Squad 4, you got
Fubar,
enemies.
it's going to be like a moth to the flame.
Coming from Titty Hill.
You know, I'd actually suggest saying that moving that fob out of that location would probably be a smart thing at this point now that they have confirmed its location. And they do have control IB on the American squad of Nipple Hill. 303rd moving to try and take them off of that.
Yeah, IB as Americans taking out the 303rd. Steve goes down. Infidel range trading shots. The anti-medic, part of Swift Knight, moving in towards Infidel range. Infidel range goes down, but the mighty Iron X-Bay still alive. Oh, but not for long as Tangi, along with anti-medic.
Squad 4 to your right.
Oh, here comes Bunny Analog to jump in with Erratic Airs and Pen. This is gonna be an interesting battle between the two. But Bunny's got help from his friend FFO Silly Cell. Sally Cell.
They're looking at IB Pen. Trading shots. Silly Cell goes down. More spawns as IB Milf has a IB Milf? Muff? Oh boy. Either way. that's either way that's a mouthful. Hello. Oh, Muff goes down.
I see a very strong presence from the American squad back at Malakabad, while at the same time there is no longer any blue over there. There's only a small presence of BB in the very middle at the river, so it looks like successfully Americans have held off Malakabad.
Yeah, that looks like a great counterattack, great counter push, getting them off of Malakabad. And now BB, the Bloodbath, making a decision if they have to get back
Full
to...
squad spotted D6, keep at 3.
If they have to get back to the fields,
keep
which
at
they're in a
three.
This
great
is quite
position.
exciting.
Yeah, do you see this flank here?
They can flank perfectly on Fubar, but I'm pretty sure they're going to take out their spawn if they move up any further.
Yep.
Yes, they are. They found the fob. Oh, this is quite a moment. Fubar doesn't know it yet.
So, Bloodbath Hammett must have the FOB indicator in his sights. He's close enough. Takes down Musino.
He takes 2.
Virgie, he's got enemies.
Oh, here's Big Gulps.
Below the hill.
Big Gulps. What can he do? He goes down. Unfortunate for SWF. And it looks like the militia has powered through and they are searching for the fob but have not found the radio yet, even though they're next to it.
Yeah, they're right there.
We're on the fob.
Oh,
They're on it. They found it.
Job, take it out. We're coming to assist.
IB Muff on the American squad comes back. He wants to get revenge.
This is a critical moment for both teams. This is the only path, only spawn as SWF Chuckers 404 gets in, goes prone, and starts shooting wildly.
IB Muff gets the kill for the American squad, cleans out Hamlet.
Explosions, Web MB goes down. IB
Muff is
Yeah,
oh,
we're
he's
taking
last.
fucking heavy fire. We need your help.
with Bloodbath Auguster. AG Surfer, rather, goes down at the top there with his Overwatch. More like Underwatch.
Now, that was an unfortunate event for the turn there on Bloodbath's decision-making because they had the positioning on them. But if they would have just taken that out without them to be able to replenish the spawns,
Make sure
they
we're not
could
losing
have
fields.
really inflicted pain on the Americans.
Fields is still on.
Yeah, they got to be thinking twice about that fob. Now that they know that, now that the militia knows it's there, let's open up the map super quick. There is a marker. It has been notified, and there's a sword by it. A lot of the times, that's the surefire way of a confirmed fob.
Forward,
there
can you move
on
direct north
Echo
towards
6
the
Key
fob?
1.
Help us out. We'll pinch them.
And it looks like we have Fubar here in the middle of the valley still with FFO. Not an engagement, but they have now turned into very distinct groups. The splintering and the spreading of two different teams is no longer happening. We now have the Americans and the militia very, very defined in their lines.
Now, Bash, it looks like there's two fire lines are about to set up. Before that happens, let's quick go to the scoreboard, take a look. Militia, 120 kills to 150 deaths on the militia side. United States Army, 150 kills, 121 deaths. It's a ratio, perfect ratio there. So that means that they're everything's looking good.
No team kills, no suicides. Well done, guys.
We're about to move in.
And there it is. Let's bring those stats down and take a look at these two lines coming in on each other. On Murder Mountain, 303rd and Swift, along with, no, that's Swift that's there.
Now, we have a group of Fubar that are being flanked by a group of Bloodbath, and this might be a reliving of what we just saw. Let's see who comes out on top, though.
So I see, yeah, right next to the fob, there are the Swift Knights. There's the Bloodbath. There's a couple Fubar guys with that flank. Zeus Almighty in all chat saying, turns into another goddamn slugfest on
Squad 2, that's
Bahadur.
yourself.
I'm very interested to see what AR does in response to this, because they have two groups, both back at Lakabad in various areas, that are not engaging. They might just be providing overwatch of BB's movements to Fubar, which would be pretty smart.
Talking about BB's movements, Bash, take a look at that amazing sweep, that amazing line on the left-hand side of the screen.
Did you see the timing?
Yes, absolutely amazing spread.
So I have to mention that the fact that they were able to come over the edge of the hill at the same time on a spread of about 50 meters to 75 meters, that was
almost
teamwork.
got their fall
That was
down.
quality
You
teamwork.
guys push up
Unfortunately,
if you can.
they didn't survive it.
Yeah, as the camera's looking south towards Murder Mountain, we see the looks like the Swift Knights have either another fob up or a rally. That's
Johnny, could you
no.
possibly
That
push
is
up?
is that a fob? They
There's
moved
the
their
hill
fob.
and helps out.
Did they lose the fob?
Let's see. I'm not quite sure.
I think. Yep. There's the fob.
No,
So-
they still.
So there is a fob just to the north of Murder Mountain here, where we see this giant cluster of Swift Knights, IB Musido, Homie, Fubar. I see FFO Lieutenant Moose in the mix here, but these guys that are moving in looking for the fob on Murder Mountain are not going to find one, as the Americans have either moved it or they took it. I couldn't tell.
No, that was quite a smart play by the Americans to get that shifted over. That is something that not too many people necessarily remember to do, is the fact that you can pick up without losing any tickets and move your fob away if it has been located.
138 kills to 178 deaths, 177 kills to 139 deaths.
And a split of 20 turns into a split of 40. That was quite a fast jump between the two
T60 cat
teams.
8.
Looks like that lineup was very much
Squad two
in
was
the
last
malicious
forward.
favor.
Getting a lot of
not
squad
sure.
comms here.
Correction. United States
They're
favor.
doing a north flank and putting a fob behind it.
Calling out the Murder Mountain Hill. SWF's flank has been noted by FFO Bucks. He mentions it to the rest of his militia team, but no one moves.
I'm spawning back west and see if I
Enemy
can cut these guys
squad,
off.
Enemy fob on my location up north.
Roger,
Echo
good job.
6. Keep at 7.
There's a whole squad north.
I mean, listen to those comms, Bash. I mean, this is what it takes to be a championship team here. The comms with these guys don't necessarily play with each other all the time. These are unique, distinct clans that are individuals in their own right.
D6, keep at 5. Enemy.
Absolutely. There's multiple people playing today that have definitely never played together with each other, so it's good cohesion that they're even communicating on this kind of manner.
Coming into
And
the fields
nah,
behind you.
gonna be interested to see the response time though, because it looks like SWF is doing a really good job on the U.S. team of coming wide on the flank, following a similar path to what the 303rd did last game. But they're staying off the face of the hill to see if they can make sure not to skyline. Because there is what looks like an FFO Selly Cell is on Nipple Hill, and he is in the Overwatch for the opposite team.
Yeah, hopefully not an overextension here for the Swift Knights, but they are going back right into the pack of backpack. FFO, I love your backpack. Saying, wow, so much blood. Haha. 157 kills on militia, 192 deaths. United States Army, 190 kills, 159 deaths.
So a disbursement of the
They're
teams,
going-
and
they're
they
still
do
going north,
branch
C6
back out
keep at
into
9.
a rather splintered grouping.
But looking at Bahadur Fields now, we see Bloodbath spawning on that the known fob entity on the fields. We get a few more spawns coming out of there, but militia definitely owning the fields. That Swift Knight flank, though, to the north, obviously is understood as FFO Scarface, and a few more of those FFO guys are conflicting. They're getting straight into engagement with Selly Cell almost pulling a whoa big gulps, like deja vu all over again.
And I think this is pretty interesting. Looking at you know, the stats, the scoring overall, we have a separation of a little less than 1,000, and the points wise, we're looking at a separation of about 40 or so kills difference. But play wise, there hasn't been too much of a serious play difference between the two. The one big difference was how they handled the big group lineup, and I think the U.S. team did a little bit better when they got into a group effect.
Looks like another spawn drop down here for the United States side. Real risky if that is a fob versus a rally point. Again, with the fob having that 10 tickets that could be on the line there for him. But I don't want to get
We're taking out a squad west of us.
too ahead of myself here, Bash, as I get lost
They went all the way up and around.
in Riverbend. What I should be looking at here, and I apologize, is the action that's happening here
Sally, just keep calling them out for us, please.
on Bahadur Fields, because that's the only
They're
point that's
directly
really in
north of
play.
our Riverbend fob.
Along
Well,
with
I'm seeing here a lot of slow movement and smart positioning, but not a lot of engagement, actually.
95 tickets could be the reason for that slow movement. The 94 now for the militia side with 176 kills, 6 deaths. United States Army with 204 kills, 178 deaths.
And APG with the BB, they have taken position as the militia up on the hill on the south side of Murder Hill. Looks like they do have no spot over the fact that there are some American squads coming up through the middle here in Bahadur Fields. In fact, Fubar, King of Canada, is uncontested all by himself, running out in the open.
There's
He
things still be coming from
ran
this
right
side,
past
for
the
sure.
the militia squad. SWF Chuckers spots the spawn in from a BB player. And the Americans now have 3 people in the heart of Bahadur Field.
And there
Fighting erupts as BB Hamlet runs away.
you go. There's Swift Knight Chuckers 404, Swift Knight Zeph. We see a couple of the 303rd guys, Infidel Rage.
Also, that is, we're losing our fob. We're losing our fob.
Yeah, they're losing. Yeah, dude, they're on fucking the defense.
Well, this is quite an
Push that
interesting
behind
thing. They noticed that they're losing their fob, and
Squad 4,
8
they're all
people
behind
spawn
you, and
in
they're
at that fob.
I got
Talk
a fob
about
somewhere on squad
reinforcements.
position here. I
That,
can't
if there was
find
ever a
it.
time for a grenade, it would be now.
Yeah, that's when any kind of explosives. Those are the moments you wait
Like,
for.
isn't the cap or what?
I'm just going to take a quick peek on top of this hill to the southeast. We have 303rd Step and Razor coming up on 5 people. He starts picking them off with a sniper. 2 of them down.
Yeah, that's a 1-on-5 scenario here. 2 down. Stefan Razor, 303rd, taking on AR. Oh, and Stefan goes down.
He's dropped.
Excellent
Well,
engagement.
good play on 303rd and APG for doing that super solid spawn, and BB coming in to help him as well. Militia, with that ability, was able to secure Bahadur Fields.
Hey, one.
Kind of like
We cleared the fob.
pulling a fire alarm.
Roger, can you guys move back up to us? so we
Yeah,
can
yeah.
maybe
That's
try to-
really what I mean. As soon as they called
Yeah, we're
in,
just trying to keep
I want
our
to say
flanks
within
clear.
10
We got a fob
seconds,
behind us on
there was
Riverbend.
8 more people in that location. I just can't believe the timing worked out that well for them.
I didn't even notice any of the suicides. So I think this is where it's really important that you hold your spawn, you wait for your medic, because it gives you the opportunity that your kind of spawn countdown timer gets to a point that you can immediately spawn on at any point.
Yep.
So by
We're trying
waiting
to keep
and
your
being
maps clear
patient,
right now, guys.
so there's FFO, I love your backpack.
Yeah, squad 2's position is the fob. If anybody would care
Way-
to help, that'd be fucking
Way,
cool.
way over here on Riverbend.
Good APG. We're trying to battle him back here.
So there's I love your
Yeah,
backpack.
you're good, man.
Getting on the comms and telling people because of the fact that he knows he's on a point that's not currently in play. But if you take a look at Riverbend here, Bash, how many Americans do you see on this point? Can you believe it?
Wow, this is insane. Just it's a useless battle,
Taking down
but
the
it's the
fob
main
and
battle
taking
almost
down
right now
us.
at this point. And actually, you have a group of 3 FUBAR posted, almost holding back any militia from coming into that fight.
Yeah, interesting engagement going on here. Again, this point is non-contestable. The only strategic value we can be... Oh, you know what? The only strategic value could be is the fact that a lot of times a backup fob is here. And look, yes, lo and behold, there is a backup fob in Charlie 7, Keypad 8. Swift Knights knowing, because this is where the Swift Knights always throw their backup fob. This is a direct attack on the backup fob for Bahadur Fields, trying to sweep back and take that fob for an easy 10 tickets.
Do you think it's going to be fast enough to get into a relevant position, though? There's only 48 tickets going down now.
Yeah, 48 tickets. I think that they bit off a little bit more than they could chew. They didn't realize that FFO would be fiercely guarding that spawn. And we're seeing now that they're starting to sweep back onto Bahadur Fields as we see WebMD FUBAR here on the North Mountain Range. And we see a couple other of the FUBAR crew here in the middle of Bahadur Fields.
Squad 2, can you guys hold them while we flank?
Well, this is an interesting. We have 2 power lines, one FUBAR against one 303rd. So the U.S. 1st Militia right here in the very heart of fields, one to the north, one to the south.
And unfortunately for 303rd, it looks like there's a couple of the AR militia in red.
We found a fob on my guy. Fob marker is accurate.
To the east, backpack saying they found a fob.
Back here for you guys at the flag.
Sounds good.
303rd.
We're doing okay. We just need. It's gonna be a.
They need to branch out and move, man. They're way too bunched up right now if they want to hold. Look at how many people are coming in from the U.S. team. That is quite a lot of numbers. Let's see what they're able to do. No one's on Nipple Hill at all. This is quite interesting.
Well, actually, looks like some of the FUBAR guys can't get enough of it, and they're heading up now.
Pull this one.
Smart position. They have direct overwatch over what looks to be 9 303rd players.
Squad 1's reacting up. We're moving over here.
Correction, 8. Oh, they don't take the hill. They actually flank around the entire nipple.
That's really the only way to do it. You got to be sensitive when you're dealing with any kind of maneuvers around the nipple hill. You want to be gentle. You don't really want to be too hard around the nipple hill. Just be gentle and be caring and caressing. And that's the only way to do it.
There is the 1% time where you got to be real rough and just charge right over the top of it and throw grenades.
You gotta ask first. I mean, you gotta ask and make sure the nipple hill is okay with it before you really try anything rough. And worst case scenario, you figure out a safe word, and then everything
Consent
is okay.
is always required.
That's right.
Kids. And we have a group of 4 FUBARs. 4 FUBARs coming in. Actually, 3 FUBARs, 1 AR on the American squad. Coming up on the left flank of 303rd. Let's see what they're going to be doing here. Mr. Puddinface leading the charge. Steve goes down on the 303rd squad. And to the right, IB Muff on the American is chasing 2 APG squads.
They've got eyes on a rear fob. I got sniped as soon as I spawned on it.
I'm killing him. I just traded with
17 tickets left.
Completely
I'm seeing
surrounded.
Yeah, completely surrounded by the United States force.
Squad 3, can you place a fob for us, please?
15 tickets
and they
remain.
go down.
Try.
Just drop it anywhere. We need help. 14
The
tickets.
struggle is real for the militia squad as they
fuck.
charge
GG.
up out of the river, but they are not going to
Unless
make
you
it to
get
Bahadur
fields
Fields
right
in
now.
time.
United States
fields,
Army
so-
neutralizes Bahadur
You
Fields.
guys have 2 minutes. to get
What
to
a
field.
huge shift.
Squad 3, you need to get to field.
I mean,
They
this could
actually took it. They took it.
This could end the game here with a U.S. cap 20 ticket punch to the face for a point-to-point flip.
Drop a fob.
That SWF super far forward push might have been the winner here.
It definitely took some pressure off of the point,
Fob so we can spawn on you.
pulled off the FFO,
I mean,
and they
we
just
got
got
11
locked
tickets,
in
man.
battle.
I'm just gonna try and take it.
Bloodbath moving in. We're watching Bloodbath
Yeah,
move in
please
from
drop
the
it.
north. He's saying there's some
10 tickets.
talking about 10 tickets. He drops the fob, but let's see how disciplined these guys are to... Oh my god, 9 tickets left.
There's no covering fire. There's no explosives. They're moving in completely exposed. I see no smokes.
But they're
This is
also-
a very...
They're not being looked at all. So here comes I Love Your Backpack. And they're coming in on a clear flank. AR McBeard goes down. Backpack
8
flies. 8 tickets. Remain.
Good game, guys. That was a hard fought battle.
Bloodbath stops their approach. I'm not sure why they stay
Yeah,
on
I don't know
the side.
either. I
They
saw-
might be in the capture zone.
That would be the only reason. We saw I Love Your Backpack just charge in, take down McBeard, but he had no one else behind him. I think that that may have been a flaw because they were right on the angle of attack. Obviously, hindsight's 20/20.
Or bird's eye view.
Yeah, that too. Or admin cam. Admin cam is 2,500.
Oh,
But a
the
very
game
close
was
match.
good.
66
Game.
tickets. 227 kills. 283 deaths. 291 kills. 230. I mean, these plus 200 kill matches.
Good fucking games, guys.
Yeah, 291
Very-
kills for
almost
the US.
300.
That's every ticket in the game. That's 9 tickets that were not attributed to kills. I don't think you can get much closer of a game.
Quite a quality match indeed.
So there was a little bit of a kerfuffle during the map switch here. But I think we got some really great content out of this, some great streams. Bash, I can't thank you enough for the opportunity to co-stream with you. It's been an
was
absolute
great,
pleasure
Chase.
and an honor.
Appreciate it, my man, Mr. Johnny.
Yes, absolutely. Any takeaways on these matches here?
I'd have to say that the first match was something unprecedented. I haven't seen a quality match like that in quite a while. So the fact that those teams came out and they played and they just kept hammering each other like that, so much fun to watch. That second match, a little bit more tactical, I'd say, actually. There was more movement, position, more flamboyant tactics, actually. But still very fun to watch and very engaging. I look forward to doing some more streams in the future. And thanks for checking out the stream, guys.
Yeah, just amazing players, amazing matches. These clans fighting on another level, utilizing the current meta of the game, understanding where to be and when and why. A lot of this stuff was just kind of happening without anybody talking. But then when it really got heavy, that's when the comms were flying and people were reacting. Even with, like I said, a little bit of kerfuffle at the beginning there, things started to iron out, and really very, very close matches. Everybody should be very pleased with how they played, and I've honestly not seen this level of gameplay yet in the community. So it was an absolute joy to watch and explore this.
One thing I'd say after just checking out we have been looking at the chat log and trying to throw stats up there as much as we can to try and keep you guys involved and see what's going on. It only shows points necessarily, not kills or anything like that. So there's some things that we try and relate to it, but hopefully we'll get that up there enough for you guys to keep informed.
Absolutely. We are working on a 3-minute delay on this to avoid any potential I guess stream sniping, so it's difficult to interact, but it's really for the the squad community, and we want to thank them for all their participation. We want to thank Banshee, 303rd Banshee, for putting this together on the North America side, as well as Chronic and crew. And I think Bash, is there anyone else you wanted to give a shout out to?
I just have to say the clans, man. The clans really came out there. There was some real quality gameplay today, and it was a fun experience.
Awesome, guys. Well, I think that about does it for us here on the Community Clan Fight Night. My name's JohnnyOmaha.
And I'm Bash.
And we just want to say before we go, big thank you to the men and women of the United States military and their allies, the active duty, reserves, and veterans that have given so much for us and our freedoms, for us to be able to play great games like this squad. For us, this is just a game, but for them, there are no respawns. It's the real deal. They get one shot at this. So we really want to appreciate their service and their sacrifice. Again, guys, thanks so much for watching Community Clan Fight Night Week 21. Stay tuned this time next week for CCFN 22, and we hope to be back to help with that. All right, guys, have a great day, and we'll stream you later.